I've got 3 monitors for a reason.
Fucking alt-tab is fuck.
I was spinning my chair, just beating off.
All right.
Everywhere I look, something new is happening.
So this is the Console Crusade podcast. Oops, okay.
Welcome to the Console Crusade podcast. We'll talk about retro video games, video game news, and EJ's horrendous zit on his forehead.
It's terrible. This is Console Crusade. Come on.
Okay.
Give me zoom, give me sound, give me down. Oh, shit. Fuck.
The speech in Pentacast.
All right. This is the Console Crusade podcast. I am EJ Olsen. We talk video game news, retro video games. And today, I'm joined by Nick Dornheim as always.
What's up?
And again, for the second time in our illustrious history, we're joined by not the first Console Crusader, but the most recent Console Crusader.
I don't think that's true.
You're the only one who's pledged an oath.
That's true. I read a thing.
You're officially a Console Crusader. The other guys, weak, nothing.
Yeah.
Trevor, psh. Milo, sorry, bud. Andrew, you are a true Console Crusader. So here we are. We're talking some stuff. What are we talking about, Nick?
I just wanted to talk about stuff we're looking forward to in the year 2018. AD.
It's a big year.
Well, I mean, not as big as 2017, but we've got a few games that we're kind of hyped about, and maybe some things that aren't confirmed, but we like to think that they might be 2018.
It's technically bigger.
Biggest.
It's the biggest year so far.
Sony's shooting their first party WAD this year. We're getting a lot of cool things.
Yeah, finally, E3 2015 is coming to fruition.
Yeah. I've seen the same press conference 3 times.
Let's jump into that
Give
thing.
me those games.
What are we getting? We're getting God of War. We're getting Detroit. And we got it already. We just saw a re-release of a game that came out like 10 years ago.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
That game's awesome. I would have bought it today, but Monster Hunter, Fighters.
You've been climbing other beasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. I finally bought Fighters. Finally, as if it came out forever ago. I decided to buy Fighters instead of waiting, for it to drop to $20.
$30, $40 price range.
What are your thoughts on it so far?
It's the best looking Dragon Ball game that's ever been out.
Mm-hmm.
It's the easiest to be good at, I think. The auto combos have a lot to do with that. And if you're doing like the story mode in the arcades, if you just mash the auto light combo or square or X, depending on the console you're playing on, you'll win every fight because the opponent plays down to your level, just like the Blazers do.
Shots fired!
It's pretty easy to be good at it, but the presentation, like, it makes you okay with just how easy the game is.
It's really fucking easy.
And Yamcha is the best in the game, which,
Oh, no.
Yamcha's badass, and that wasn't an accident.
Yeah, no, they were like, we're going to give the real boys something to write home about.
So
All I want is Hercule to be in it and just be like Dan in Street Fighter, just be like a shitty fucking fighter, just be a joke.
Hercule, hopefully soon.
Mr. Satan?
Okay, so to give the people listening some context here, spoiler alert, minor spoilers for the story, but to give you some context, Nick.
Well, I saw the beginning. I've heard people talk about it.
So yeah, the whole premise is that everyone's powers are sapped so that everyone's on the same level.
And everyone's a clone and you're inhabiting the body.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, it's a strange game, but the cutscenes are awesome.
It's like the earlier movies where there's like, well, let's bring back Hitler as a ghost and then fucking whatever.
We'll probably kill him. We'll probably kill him.
All right.
This game is as canon as those movies.
Yeah. Android 21, get your head out of your
Not
head.
canon at all. All right?
No.
So it is kind of weird. It's like Bulma's talking to me. I am possessing Goku. I am a fucking demonic, possessive fucking spirit. And I've taken over Goku's body.
And Beerus knows.
Goku!
But you're finally able to be a part of the Dragon Ball universe in a non-RPG-like way.
Is that what we wanted? Instead of making my own character and being a total badass, I get to just be a disembodied fucking spirit?
I didn't like Xenoverse. It's fun.
Gasp. I'm gasping.
I can hear it.
Audibly.
I can hear your
How dare you?
I can hear your gas.
It's funny because you didn't gasp at all. But you talking about like an RPG, I would love to have somebody else take this engine and just make an RPG with it.
It'd be great.
Be like Ni no Kuni, but with Dragon Ball Fighters.
Give me a real JoJo's RPG, because all the JoJo's games so bad.
Well, I mean, they're all the Bandai Namco games are just like the roaming beat 'em ups.
They're all
I'm just not really into beat 'em ups, but just like
they're all running on the One Piece engine. So
yeah.
Not for me, boys. The game's cool so far. It definitely, I think I was talking to Max, your co-host on the Precipice Between Two Hills podcast.
Yeah.
Which I should have mentioned at the top of the pod.
It's cool. I'm in the middle of rebranding because Amazon wants a lot of money for their server.
They love hosting.
Yeah, they love hosting so much.
Jeff Bezos needs to milk you for all your
Jeff
work.
Bezos has that fuck you money, and now he's trying to take my money where I say fuck you.
Here's the thing. I was watching TV the other day with my mom.
Amazon TV?
And I saw a commercial that featured Jeff Bezos.
Me too.
And I said, this fucker is too rich to look that way. His fucking eyes shouldn't be all goopy and goofy. His head should not be that bald. And he looks like a fucking, someone popped a football. Like, that's what Jeff Bezos looks like.
I don't know, man.
What the fuck? Yes.
Jeff Bezos was ripped last summer.
Is he like the richest man in history now?
But briefly, he was. I think Bill Gates overtook the position again, though.
Bill Gates has never been. I mean, Bill Gates
US,
rich as hell.
U.S., I mean.
Maybe.
No, in the U.S., I think it's still Bezos.
I think Bezos was the richest man in the world for a minute, but then
he was like worth like $120 billion.
That's it. I can't even fathom that kind of money.
I can't even fathom $120,000.
Yeah, right. I can't buy dinner. Like,
not a million times more than that either.
I would cripple with $120,000. I think
I'd be fucking rolling deep.
If I won the fucking lottery tomorrow, I'd join the 27 Club for sure. Like, without a fucking
I thought that was only for musicians. Like notable musicians.
the fuck is
fair enough.
Bane?
Oh man,
dude.
So anyway,
Monster Hunter.
What about fighters? You never finish your quick hits.
Okay, I was talking to Max, and I initially said this doesn't remind me anything of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which what really drew me to the game. But after playing it, it's like it's definitely a Marvel.
It's in the vein. It's in the vein.
Kind of vibe. I don't like the auto combos.
I don't either.
Because I'll accidentally like triple hit that square button, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't want to do that.
At least in Marvel. Well, the thing about the auto combos in fighters is that the whole game's built around them. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you're playing cheaply. I mean, you kind of are, but.
They're not ideal. They don't do as much damage as doing like a real combo.
Because you can start the auto combo and then like vanish out of it. It's in transmission into like a super Kamehameha or whatever the hell you want to do. It's the barrier for entry is super low. Anyone can play that damn game.
Needs to be. I mean, it's a Dragon Ball. It's a game based on an IP.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. That's how you make a good fighting game. You have to make something accessible so that children can play it, but still have enough competitive
panache, edge.
Yeah. You need to be able to appeal to the people who are super autistic about fighting games. That's why Street Fighter fucking sucks now. It's not just a game you can just fucking pick up and have fun with your friends. It's meant for hardcore gamers. It's not fun anymore. It's not like it was back in the day.
Yeah, and the main problem with that too is with 5 is that even the hardcore of the hardcore are the ones that are complaining about it the most, and that has been what keeps like the noobs from wanting to pick it up.
Yeah,
I'm a noob that occasionally plays Street Fighter 5. I log in mostly to play whatever music they have because it has one of the best soundtracks.
Right. Capcom knows what they're fucking doing.
So does Monster Hunter World, but
dude.
I log in. It's Arcade Edition is definitely better than base Street Fighter 5, 110%. That still doesn't make me go, I'm going to play it.
2 years later,
Yeah, too little too late.
It's also funny because I remember like distinctly a press release saying that the version you buy on day one, it will be the version you have forever.
It is. Arcade Edition was a free update for me.
Yeah, if you already own the game, then it was a...
so they just released the definitive edition just for...
Yeah, there's no new trophies or anything.
Okay.
It's the same game.
Gotcha.
And you can still access the survival mode is still there. Everything's still there. They just added extra V skills and V triggers to everybody.
When that
new
game
costumes
came out, what was the controversy? Like, wasn't there no story mode yet? Like, they had to...
There was nothing.
Well, there was like things on the main menu when you first start the game that were literally grayed out.
Yep.
Like, instead of taking it out of the menu, it just had story mode, and it was like, no, you can't click fast. Sorry.
Not till July.
That seems so fucking
It's just like little things. I mean, I don't really understand because I'm not in the thick of it. I don't play Street Fighter.
Yeah.
But the people who played Street Fighter were mad about it, and that was enough to like kind of color the conversation.
Well, out of the box, you had training mode, survival mode, and online.
Which, I mean, if it's a fighting game, that's literally what people are going to be doing.
Yeah,
so
they're going to be fighting each other. But, I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but like the combo challenges were not there for like the deeper practice to learn your character a little deeper. Like they weren't there for like 4 to 5 months.
But then look at a game like Injustice. Injustice 2 comes out last year, and it's like has like one of the best story modes of fighting games ever had. And like,
well, that's NetherRealm. That's what they do.
And I guess I'm not ingrained in the fighting game community. I don't give a shit. I want to play a game with a cool story and decent combat.
Yeah.
Like the Mortal Kombat 10, it's a Mortal Kombat game. It was good for what it was. It came out, what is that, 2013 now? It came out 8 years ago, right? Or was that 14?
Mortal Kombat X?
I think it was 2015.
Yeah, I think it was 2015. There was a 2-year gap.
Really?
I think there were 2 years back and
Mortal
forth.
Kombat 9.
I think Injustice 1 was 2013.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm
because that was
confused.
split between 360 and PS4.
Yeah, but a game like
launched.
MKX it had a fun, ridiculous, over the top, like 80s action B-movie story.
Just hella cliche.
Yeah, and then it was deep enough that if you wanted to be decent, you could be, but you could just pick it up and be like, okay, I know 3 combos, and I'm not trying to fucking quarter, circle, triangle,
you
X,
you can
back.
set that way if you want.
I don't want that.
Well, yeah, you don't have to. That's the nice thing about Injustice. NetherRealm's very approachable, and the technical levels of Injustice are pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's why I'm enjoying Fighters. They seem to strike a good balance, and the story mode's fun. It's weird as fuck, but it's cool. Like there was this moment, spoiler alert, at really close to the beginning of the game where Cell has been resurrected, and he like knocks the fuck out of Android 18.
Yep.
And Krillin's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. And because of whatever's going on that has sapped everybody's powers, Krillin is strong enough to take on Cell. So that got me so fucking hyped. He's like, it's kind of that moment with Vegeta and Bulma, like, that's my Bulma, but Krillin is like way cooler than Vegeta, in my opinion. Like, he's just such a good fucking dude. He's like, that's my fucking wife! And he gets all crazy, and
My wife.
Dude, my wife. Dude, it got me so hyped. But then I get into the battle, and there's no option to change your team after a cutscene before a battle.
Yeah.
So I had this big cutscene with Krillin, like, I'm gonna kick your ass, you bastard!
And you didn't have him?
I had fucking Tien and Goku. And I was like, fuck, well, this bald guy will do. Like,
They're all bald.
yeah, so that was kind of a bummer. But it got me really, I'm like, that's cool. The story has already got me invested.
Yeah.
And it's the weirdest fucking thing. Like 2 years ago, I would have been like, this sucks. Like, the story sucks. Like, this isn't my Dragon Ball. But it's just, after watching Dragon Ball Super, like, this is better than anything they've done in that show.
I don't know. I like Super. It's the cool thing about this game is it's just Dragon Ball, no holds barred, and I'm old enough to the point where I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Just let me play.
Yeah, it's all just Toriyama being real goofy and weird.
Yeah, you're getting old, man. It's fine.
But that's what made Dragon Ball, right? Just some
Is
weird...
Roshi in this?
Just being goofy.
Not so far.
I'm not very far.
Okay.
I got Fighters after I got Monster Hunter, and I've played Monster Hunter infinitely.
You
more.
guys have both gone fucking full retard on that game.
I think I've put in
you can't-
40 hours.
You can't say that. Not on this podcast.
Not from your pedestal of intelligence.
You can't do this on my podcast.
Oh, shit.
I'm just kidding.
You're one of us, Dre.
Yeah,
Deal with it.
One of us.
I've put in
One of us.
I've put in a lot of time with that game, and it's been scratching a really good itch, especially after playing Xenoblade, which is a grindy ass RPG. Now I'm playing like a loot game, and
It's Destiny.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you've played Destiny, so I guess you have better intelligence on that. But like just the loot grind and like the crafting is
Sounds like Destiny.
interesting, and like upgrading your weapons and getting, I need an ice version of this weapon so I can deal with this monster a little bit easier.
So this is the part where I am going to step out, make myself another drink, let you two talk about Monster Hunter.
Well, I mean, I want you to ask questions because you can just be like, I like Monster Hunter. Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
this would be so boring.
Well, we had a pretty in-depth conversation about this the other day, and I think my conclusion was, I'll try your copy of it to see if it's for me, but the thing that appealed to me most about the game was the MMO aspects, and it seems those are pretty stripped back.
Well, I mean, it's just not an MMO in the sense of Repels or fucking World of Warcraft.
There's no
Repels, baby.
There's no tower where you can interact with other players.
Well, I mean, you can go to the Gathering Hub.
Oh yeah, that's
and you
right.
can like arm wrestle each other and like pretend to drink, and then when you get up, you fall down.
Yeah,
like, it's just goofy.
That's
shit.
cute.
Like,
I like cute.
It's a bar and a little sky ship.
It's kind of like the hub in Xenoverse where you're running around.
Yeah,
sure.
See other dudes, but then like you go into a instance where it's like, this one I can do up to 4 people, or this one I can only do 2 people. So it's like me and Andrew can do it, but we have to we can't have Max join us or something.
So it's kind of like, and correct me if I'm totally off base here, but like when I played Bloodborne, kind of like that, where you could only bring people into certain points of the game.
And
kind of, in a way, but Bloodborne is more of like an open area where you don't have like distinct levels.
Oh, okay.
Where Monster Hunter is like, we're going to the ancient forest. So that means that we're in this forest, there's a loading screen.
with this certain ecology.
And like, oh, there's these 3 big monsters, there's the small monsters, there's all the different gathering points, and then I can have like, my mission is to kill this Anjanath, this big fire-breathing dragon with like a weird nose, and then Andrew can join me, and we both go and hunt the thing, carve it up, get its parts, and then use that to upgrade our weapons with the things that he drops. So like, he breathes fire, so obviously you're gonna be making fire weapons from his stuff.
Sure.
And the fire stuff is good against the ice guy, but it's not good against the water guy. Yeah.
Pretty,
get it?
Pretty straightforward.
And some things will have like, +2 to fire, +1 to dragon.
Sure.
So it's all pretty interchangeable.
Have you guys played together yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Do you guys hop on the headset together?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, we're just hanging out. I mean,
I'm so jealous.
Sometimes we're not even like playing the same, like we're not joining each other, but we'll be like, oh, I need to hunt some Vespoids to upgrade my insect armor because it looks cool as hell. And Andrew's like, oh, I have to kill this Toby Kadashi so I can get this cool electric set. And we'll just be like hanging out on a headset and just like,
that's one of the
shit works.
Most underrated aspects of just a basic party chat system is, and that's why I think Nintendo Switch is so hurt by not having that functionality, is half the time you're not even playing together. But you hop in a chat room together and you guys are all doing your own thing, and it's just a part of, being part of a gaming community. And so it is the ease of access, and I totally get that. But at the same time, it's not like I have any functionality on the PS4 chat set like system that I don't have in like Discord on my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's also true, which is funny that you say that because that's what I brought. I was like, we're all going to get on Discord, and you're like, fuck Discord, I'll wait for Nintendo. And then you came around real quick to the Discord.
Well, it's not that I like Discord. If Nintendo's fucking voice chat just worked, then that's what I would use. Also.
It would be moot if they had anything close to what PlayStation has.
And from what I understand, they've at least been working on it. But at the same time, I'd rather they just don't work on it and just make it fucking part of the system.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this, like, I totally understand why it's been such a big game in Japan and why it's been so popular on handheld, because it is, like, a really good pick up and play kind of experience.
I finally get it.
It's got a tight loop. Like, the longest you're going to play is 50 minutes with, being dedicated to a thing.
Okay.
And you're never playing for 50 minutes unless you're, like, really, really sucking. And at that point, you're probably going to get killed enough times that you're going to be kicked out of the mission anyway. So it's like you're playing for 20 minutes, you're accomplishing a thing, and then you're hanging out in menus for a little bit, trying to like min-max and like make your shit the coolest looking, or make it the most powerful, which are 2 really satisfying loops to being like, I am literally progressing, and I feel like I have the most agency over it.
Dude, form over function every day. That's my motto.
Like you talking about the crafting in Horizon makes me think that you're going to be really frustrated by the way the crafting works in this
There's
game.
a lot more materials.
There's a lot more materials. Things that you wish would just work still don't work. And there's like little things like you have a limited amount of space in your bag while you're out and about. And you'll fill that shit up quick if you're just picking everything up, which you probably will because everyone loves to pick things up.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's so easy.
You just press a button and you pick it up. Whatever. There's things you pick up where it's like, this is for a bow user to make ammunition out of. Well, I'm not using a bow, so I don't need this. But I keep picking it up because I have to pick up everything.
Yep.
And then I fill up my bag, and then everything's bad. Because then it'll have like this giant thing that pops up and covers up your entire screen, and you might be getting attacked by a monster. And it's like, hey, do you want to throw something away? Or do you want to keep this thing? What do you want to do?
No!
Look at this. Let's do some item management. I'm like, no, I'm getting fucking murdered.
Yeah. For context, I was heaping praise on Horizon's crafting system. What that was
easy.
It was simple, but still made you feel like, okay, this is necessary to my progression in the game. But it didn't feel like Zelda. It was just so obtuse after the first 2 times you cooked a meal. That was just like so fucking irritating.
I was definitely confused a lot in Zelda.
Yeah.
My first few hours in it.
Yeah, my biggest thing in Zelda's crafting, I mean, if you call it crafting, it's just the cooking. It was a weirdly large number of button presses and things that you don't want to do on purpose all the time. You're like, I have to take the item, hold it, and then put it in the pot. Whereas it would make sense to just be like, I'm going to click on the pot, and then I'm going to go to the menu and just highlight some things, and I'm cooking with those things. Yeah. That would be so much more sense.
Yeah.
But instead, they have to combine the systems in this weird haphazard way.
And I'm sure Nintendo has some weird backwards Japanese logic that dictates that's how they should do it.
I mean, it's very systems. It's just combining the systems as opposed to making a new system.
Yeah. Which
I get that, but at the same time, it's not the most ideal to interact with.
So looking ahead then to games we're looking forward to in 2018, is Monster Hunter coming to the Switch?
The 3DS one is.
Yeah, they did that in Japan.
The Double X.
Yeah, Double Cross.
It was on Wii U.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
Double Cross wasn't. They had 4.
I have no idea.
Then they had 4U, which is 4 Ultimate. And then they did Double Cross on 3DS, which got ported to Switch in Japan. But who knows if it's going to get localized, because Capcom loves to not localize things.
Yeah, I don't think it probably... Well, actually, depending on the success of Monster Hunter Worlds,
which it's doing really well.
Yeah, I imagine
the best-selling Monster Hunter game.
Yeah,
they probably will bring Double Cross over.
I log in on PSN and I just see Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter World. Just all this. I scroll through all my friends that are online, and then I see Fighter Z, and it's you.
It's me. Hello.
That's a great game too. It's a lot of fun.
I'll have to, maybe I'll Redbox Monster Hunter while I'm home and just
play it for a couple days.
Just see. But I'd rather honestly go pick up Shadow of the Colossus that just came out.
I want to get it, but I'm so deep on Monster Hunter that
you've already played Shadow of the Colossus.
I've played Shadow of the Colossus 7 or 8 times.
Right.
Jesus fuck.
This looks like a really good version of that game. And I haven't played it, so
the draw distance, man.
So this is actually a ground up remake.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't just it wasn't like the PS3 upscale.
Bluepoint worked with Japan Studio. It's not purely Bluepoint, who has remastered
a million games.
So many games.
Mm-hmm. Think of a remaster that you liked.
Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection. They did it.
Yeah.
And they did another game.
Well, they did the Metal Gear collection.
Oh, yeah, the Legacy Edition.
Yeah.
I have that somewhere.
They did the God of War remaster, I think, also.
Oh, yeah, for 3 on PS4.
That was the first game I played was the HD collection, God of War 1 and 2. When I got my PS3, I got in 2015. That was the first game I played.
Best time to get it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I got it for $50 and I got a ton of those remake games. It was more about I want to play the definitive versions of all the PS2 games that I played.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is pretty, my PS3 collection is mostly just PS2 upreses, which I'm totally fine with.
Yeah.
Because all of the good PS3 games have been released on the PS4 and I've played them. So, it works out. Sony does that. It's weird, but it works.
I mean, The Last Guardian.
Yeah.
Best PS3 game.
Yeah, right? I still played a PS2 game.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's why I was fine with it, because I was I've played Shadow so many times that this is...
It feels natural to you.
This is fine.
This is right what I thought it would be, 12 years ago.
Seemed like an Ueda game.
Yeah.
That's a mouthful.
Ueda game. Ueda game.
God.
Well, I mean, if you are just competent at saying names, then it's okay.
Here's the thing. I'm not competent at many things, but especially enunciating words.
Perfect for a podcast.
Yeah. I'm a wonderful podcast host. So let's fucking move on then. We're talking about Sony. So let's talk about a couple of Sony exclusives that are coming up, and then maybe just a couple of
games you're going to play on the PlayStation.
Games I'm going to play on the PlayStation, exactly, that are likely never going to come to Switch, which would be my preference. But, okay. Dre, what do you got?
I'm hyped for God of War.
You got a war.
Yeah. Gotta do that. War. 420? Are you kidding me, man?
What are you not going to blaze up with Labo?
Oh, no. I'm going to get my Labo. I'm going to put the robot suit on. And I'm going to play
You're
God
teach
of
your
War.
son
Yeah.
about the
I'm going to show my son how to use a bow.
I think, Nick, what did you say earlier when I brought up God of War?
Data War, talking about its similar look to Last of Us.
It's Last of Us. And I was like, if it's Last of Us with Minotaurs, I am so happy with that.
The combat for the new God of War game looks awesome. It's slow prodding. There's definitely still combos, but not in the same vein.
My favorite phrase that I've seen, or that I heard when the developer was talking about God of War, was them talking about a context-sensitive, dedicated sun button.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because like just Square is just like whatever your son is doing, he'll do it more
Yeah.
or whatever. But just context sensitive, dedicated son.
I'm very excited for the presentation of God of War more than anything.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Because I'm a cinematography nut, and it's Cory Barlog or Bauer. It's not the Lord of the Rings creature. It's Barlog. He said it's like all one shot. Like the whole game is comprised to look like it's one shot. And
so it's God of Birdman.
Yeah, exactly.
God of Birdman.
Parts of the Revenant.
Sure. I'm excited for it. You know, like I said, I played the God of War games not even that long ago.
Did you play Ascension?
No, I only
skip it.
Okay, so I played only the first two.
The PSP one's good.
And then I played one. I had one of the two of those. Ghost of Sparta, was that the first one?
I think that was the second one.
Yeah, Chains of Olympus. That's the one I played.
Played the first one on the collection there, but because that was a separate collection they released on the PS3. You know, I'm way more excited for this to move into what it looks like it's moving into, which is sort of the classic now, tried and true, just third world action adventure RPG. That what a third person open world.
I mean, yeah, there's like no electricity in God of War.
It's third world action adventure RPG.
Walking around Malaysia.
Yeah, I'm all about that. You know,
Sleeping Dogs 2.
The fucking
that's China, isn't it?
It's like 300 miles away.
All right.
Cut that out.
Welcome to the Geography Podcast.
Nothing's getting cut out of this. I didn't show you.
Perfect.
Yeah, the class. It was like a beat 'em up puzzle platformer, and it was fun for a minute, but it got old really quick.
Yeah, it was definitely a PS2 fucking game.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll be excited to see how they sort of breathe new life into this and reboot it. And you know, I'm a sucker for third world games, so what can I say?
Yeah, it's that genre that everyone buys, so it makes sense that.
So that's why Sony has all their studios making them.
Right. Well, there's a reason that they work so well. They do so much about everything that's ever been done right in video games since video games inception. Like open world action adventure third person RPG games do all of that, and they do all of it well usually. So there's a reason it's so appealing to so many different people. Like I'm totally okay with it. And the other day I said I think these are the games for me. Like I finally because I grew up playing RPGs, and I still like turn-based strategy RPGs, but just it's hard for me to get into anything anymore. I like a good online game, like whether it's a shooter or like something like Rocket League. Anything I can play.
Yeah, you're always playing Rocket League on Switch, man. I log in to play
all the time.
Celeste last 10 days.
I mean, technically, if you think about it, Rocket League is kind of a third-person action game.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. It is. But outside of multiplayer stuff like that, the only games that have like really grabbed me by the fucking dick and took me for a ride in the last 5 years are those fucking open world or semi-open world third-person action adventure games.
Just surprised it's taken you this long. I mean, you should have known by Spider-Man 2 that was the game for you.
I mean, but here's the thing. My tastes have gotten so much narrower in the last 5+ years.
It's growing up, dude.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I hate Telltale games now.
I'm a Republican now.
Oh, the fall of a libertarian youngster.
I used to be so young and full of hope.
They're all pedophiles now.
Yeah, I can't believe it, man.
So anyway, Sony, what else we got coming up down the fucking
speaking
pipeline?
Of third world action games.
Third world.
Days Gone at some point this year, I would think.
Yeah.
Who in their right mind is excited about that game?
I think the horde system of the Freakers.
The Freakers
looks really cool.
They're not zombies; they're actually Freakers.
Yeah,
like, really,
they're like vampiric.
But I have a motorcycle.
Yeah, I like motorcycle. I mean, Breath of the Wild is the best motorcycle physics.
Brutal Legend is the best Tim Schafer game.
Listen,
no, that's not true,
guys. Days Gone is like 5 years too late.
Yeah, I know.
It's just not what's cool anymore.
It's the Dead Island of first party games.
Yeah, but where's Dead Island 2? We're never getting it.
It's still in development. It's supposed to be this year too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Deep Silver needs a fucking hit after the mess that they made with their last fucking Agents of Mayhem. They killed that studio. they fired like half the people that worked there.
And it was in a short period of time too. At least I think so.
But it was like a few months after release. It was very clear that they did not make the money off of that game. But yeah, zombies, fucking D game. I already forgot the name of it.
Days Gone.
Days Gone.
It's
Days Gone with Deacon in the dark northwest forest.
I literally did not know when I looked up games coming out in 2018. I saw Days Gone and I was like, DayZ, Dead Rising. It's all the fucking same bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, do we need this game? No.
It's going to be Red Dead with motorcycles.
That's called Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, fuck. Right. Especially with 5, because you can go to all the forest areas. And stuff.
Grand Theft Auto in the woods and worse riding.
Yeah, no thank you.
Proudly made in Oregon, though.
I'm probably gonna play Detroit, even though I don't really like David Cage that much anymore.
Talk to me about Detroit, because this game, another game we've been waiting on forever, and was sort of mired in some controversy towards the end of the year.
Recently. Yeah, apparently David Cage is a Nazi sex party guy, but he works with Ellen Page, so you know he's a good guy.
He has a black friend. He can't be racist.
Yeah. That was like the
Ellen
perfect...
Page is a lesbian.
Not only does he say that, but like if you play Heavy Rain or Beyond Two Souls, hell, I think even Indigo Prophecy back in the day, all the sex scenes just fucking happen. It's like you're watching porn and they're like, my drain's broken. And they're
it's like real life.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, dude,
he's got like the mind of a 14-year-old.
He's so French.
He is.
We can't put ourselves in the context of the way a French fucking dude does their shit. I mean, French movies.
They're very liberal.
They're very liberal. They don't give a shit about fucking. It's not like it's forbidden.
I think the controversy overall is pretty overblown. But
this is the one with violence against women or children?
Children, yeah. Because the dad in the demo everyone saw, they were like, oh, if you're Kara, the old PS3 tech demo, if you're Kara and you don't stop that dad, he's going to kill his daughter and maybe do some other things. And people are like, I can't believe you put that in a game. And it's like, well...
Is it? And people are saying it's advocating and glorifying violence.
Yeah.
And against
But we are the
minors.
initiated, Bruce.
Right, so I wonder, because I didn't pay enough attention to that.
Yeah.
What the context for it was, and is it just a part of telling this like fucked up story, or is it actually advocating like, hey, this is a cool thing to like fucking beat children?
No.
It's fucking nuts.
Because in the HUDs for the game, they show like you can see the story webs for like what you can change to bring out different situations. Like the goal, of course, is well, at least I assume the goal, of course, is to have Kara stop that daughter or that kid from being hurt, but it is also against the programming that her master has given her, the drunk dad. So there's a little bit of a conundrum there. It's meant to be intense. It's meant to put you in a quick thinking situation.
Put you in this moral dilemma.
Yeah.
And
it's like when Bay's family was tied to the railroad tracks. I didn't know what to do.
Well, another game that I just don't care enough about. Honestly, I wouldn't know about it other than the one time it was mentioned at a press conference. Like it's still coming, guys. We promise.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It looks like his best functioning game so far that Quantic Dream has made.
Is that saying a lot?
I mean, you can't tell until the game's out.
Yeah, that is very true. I'm only seeing vertical slices. Beyond Two Souls was okay.
Which is, in general, that's what those games are.
Yeah, they're okay. I like a good movie game. I don't really like Telltale anymore because their engine sucks. And Telltale Guardians was bad.
Yeah.
Telltale Batman Season 2 is something.
Totally random and not relevant whatsoever, but I found out that Anthony Gruber did the voice of the Joker in those games.
He does a good job.
Yeah, he sounds really great. He was the guy who everyone wanted to play Han Solo in Solo.
I wanted Harrison Ford and
I wanted the guy from Baby Driver.
That would have been way better
Ansel Elgort. He looks like Han Solo in Baby Driver.
He really does. But yeah, because Anthony Gruber, they found him on YouTube doing Harrison Ford impressions. Yeah, and that's why they found him for.
He played a young Harrison Ford in a movie.
Yeah, his Age of Adeline. Yeah, and with Harrison Ford. So that's cool and all. Everyone wanted him to be in it, but apparently he's not a good actor. Good voice actor though. Yeah,
different skills.
But yeah, I just find that funny.
Just like Mark Hamill.
Mark Hammer. Yeah, Mark Hamill's not a good actor. People say Last Jedi was his best performance, and I'm not going to lie. And I haven't had a chance to...
Oh, no, we've already done this. I'm sorry for even saying Mark Hamill.
He was awful.
So, what do y'all think about Dreams, huh?
The fuck is Dreams?
I'm excited for Dreams. It needs to launch in the way that Sea of Thieves is launching on Games Pass. It needs to be a PS Plus game and get people fucking making content for it.
Either that or I've heard it mentioned, I don't know how true it is, but they're talking about how if you make a game, like, because Dreams is kind of like Mario Maker, but instead of just making a Mario level, you're making a game. And it's a lot. It's a studio where you can make games, you can make music. It's very open ended.
I want to make a movie with Dreams.
Really, really ambitious. So what they need to do is they need to release it to creators like a month ahead of time, have them make a bunch of games with Dreams, and then release those for free. In order to promote it and let people like play these games and like give them a reason to by the game itself.
I wonder how that'll do, and if they do that, because games games quote unquote like this have existed.
It's an interactive thing that you play with. I mean,
even before that,
Legos it's like kid picks
games, kind of.
Yeah, right. But they've never done well on console ever. Except
for Mario Maker.
Yeah,
but that's a totally different. That's a plug and play, drag and drop.
Yeah.
But they've had. I wish I could name off the top of my head, but Xbox One had multiple.
Well, I mean, like Little Big Planet was also kind of similar.
This is Little Big Planet turned up to like 15.
Yeah, like take even. Well, I mean, there's going to be like a campaign. There's going to be like a game that they made.
It'll teach you the tools to be like, okay, this is how you make music. This is how you do this.
And that's like just like the multiplayer aspect is. Let me play around.
You can do like at least what I heard over something. They said you can do like collaboration with other players. So you can say like, we're going to work on this thing together. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I can get together with
like download, you can like add to.
Yeah.
And it'll credit the original creator and then you and then really weird. I mean, that's a super, only Sony would do this.
It's going to have.
And it's been in development for so long.
Yeah. This game's going to have a crazy dedicated niche fan base.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to have a great community of like 14 people. And it's going to be supported until like 2026 or something. Like,
it'd be really interesting if Twitch streamers picked it up. I think that would be the saving grace, and that would really put it like in front of the eyes of the mainstream.
Twitch streamers aren't smart enough to play a game like that.
I mean, Twitch streamers are flocking to Sea of Thieves, and that's like. No one was really like pumped about Sea of Thieves, I don't think. But then,
that game looks fun.
It looks pretty fun. The water looks great.
Is this the one that's
the rare game, the Pirates?
Okay, I get all the
not the Ubisoft one. That's
the right.
I'm hyped for that. It's coming out like the same month.
I don't need a boat fighting game.
I know.
I mean, the ship combat in those Assassin's Creed games was the best thing about them.
It's kind of dumbed down in Origins.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was kind of I liked that game, but the ship combat was severely lacking.
Ships were there in ancient Egypt? Was it like canoe combat?
Well, you the ship combat in that game, you switch to the main character's wife. I already forgot. You switch to Aya, and she's like, she's commanding a boat. AYA. She's commanding a boat outside. The controls are definitely better, but the options for like what you can do are just such a disappointment.
Would you say that they're watered down?
Fuck, 7.9. 7.9.
Oh, that's terrible.
Too much Nile.
It will never die.
Nice. That's nice.
It will never die.
There are kids alive today who have no clue what that means.
I'll make them learn.
I'll make them learn.
So the last thing I have for PlayStation, and I assume it's only PlayStation, I'm not actually sure, is Ni no Kuni 2. Did you play the first one?
Yeah, I never beat it, but I did enjoy what I played in Ni no Kuni. I still have the save on my cloud. I could probably rent it on PS Now.
That was turn-based combat in that one.
The original one was turn-based, yeah.
It's like an RPG, kind of similar, not to like Pokemon as far as like millions of monsters, but you have like that kind of similar capture mechanic.
Yeah. I liked that game a lot. It had great voice acting, great art.
And that was literally like Studio Ghibli like work.
They had a big hand in it.
Right, which that was really cool. It had a really, really beautiful aesthetic. I loved the way that game looked. This game looks better because it's PS4.
Yeah, the overworld and combat in this one.
Because it's like an action game.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by it, but I'm also like, why can't it just be like the first one?
But prettier and more of it.
Yeah, just give me more of that. But I'll probably still buy it and play it and have a great time with it.
Yeah, and that's like March. That's like coming
March, April,
quick.
Something like that.
So
I'm never gonna play Shadow.
I'm pretty interested in Ni no Kuni 2. If people who are like excited about it are really excited about it and sell it, I feel like I would be willing to pick that game up and play it.
It'll be a good time. It'll probably be the best RPG as like a Sony exclusive for maybe the year.
Everything else, like the only other ones I can think of, there's a Nintendo exclusive that I'm stoked for, and then what else? Like Kingdom Hearts, maybe if that comes out this year.
We'll see like 6 more Square games at E3. Please be excited. But I don't know.
Final Fantasy 16 and 17, which are coming out in 2022 and 2027, respectively.
16 is just going to be parts of 15, I think.
They're continuing with development.
Oh yeah,
15. They've been doing.
They announced more DLC for it.
It was like
to finish the story.
Maybe in 2 years I'll go back and play it again.
Are we going to get episode 1 of Final Fantasy 7 this year?
I doubt it, but you never know.
I think we might see what it's gonna be this year, and then have it be like a early 2018 release. I think
Phil
That would make
Square's
sense for like
January.
January, February.
I don't get why they're choosing to do the episodic thing. Like, just give us a fucking remake. And
I think it's just leftover from they wanted to do that more, and they did that with Hitman, but then that did not really succeed. And
it's
they
just
sold Vio.
it's a bad business model for video games. It's not how we consume that kind of content. That's
Yeah,
not even
but
how we like consuming the kind of content that we originated with. We don't like watching television episodes. We want to binge an entire season like some fucked up 13-hour movie.
Yeah, but you're not watching a 13-hour thing on Netflix. You're watching 13-hour long things on Netflix. So it makes sense because they want that money trickling in as opposed to less people buying it all at once.
It's hard to market those like episode 2 launches though. I've noticed, at least with Telltale, which, this isn't like a great example of an episode. Well, it's really the prime example of episodic games. But when like a new episode comes out, I only know about it because I have a bookmark Google tab for the current Telltale game.
Sure.
When is this episode released?
Right.
I
It's
wonder-
not built into the system
Yeah.
themselves to
And downloading those episodes on PS4 is a pain in the ass.
Really?
Oh, God.
I wonder what the drop off is between people who buy the initial release and then who never go back.
Check the trophy list.
Oh yeah, I wonder what that. I'm sure it's probably a significant number.
pretty
There
steep,
is.
I would imagine. But then after episode 2, it's probably stagnant because if you're invested in episode 2, you're going to stay through to episode 5.
Yeah.
And then how many people decide when the first episode drops, oh, I'll wait till there's a collection and I can buy it all at once?
A lot of people I know.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, it has been a while since we've heard about Final Fantasy VII Remake. I wonder if they're just going to drop the whole episodic thing altogether.
Fingers crossed.
It would make me want to get it.
Or if what they think of episodic, it might be what Final Fantasy 15 ended up being, where they release a
full
game and
games.
it's like playable, but it's not necessarily
It's
like done.
Not done.
So they could like add interstitial kind of chapters to like
The thing with
fill it out and have people keep coming back.
Yeah.
Have it be like a live game without it being a multiplayer experience.
That's a bad half measure. Final Fantasy 15 was a half a game, and they're releasing DLC. They're going to want you to pay for it. That fixes the fucking problems from the game that came out. Was that 2 years ago?
Did you even play it? I mean,
yeah, did you play 15?
No.
I liked it quite a bit.
I mean, I'm not.
I understand people's gripes with it for sure, but
Just what I've heard about.
It's not as bad as the mass negative news that you tend to hear about.
I'm sure the gameplay is fine, but just what I heard from like a story perspective that it's like we're getting DLC 2 years later that is like
the story DLC
explaining the story that was supposed to happen, but they skipped.
The initial episodes that tied to all the members of the boy band were all pretty cool. I liked them. They all featured unique gameplay. They weren't too terribly long, didn't overstay their welcome, and they offered really great perks for returning to the base game where all the like in-game fights are.
All right.
Yeah, I liked it. There's definitely gripes with it, and I get it because it's like, what the fuck is this game?
It's
yeah, I mean, but Final Fantasy hasn't been like a gleaming bastion of beautiful RPGs in a long time, so
I wouldn't call it cohesive.
yeah.
which is what I want in a goddamn game. All right. Let's move on to the big one. This is the big one.
Spider-Man?
Fucking Spider-Man.
It's done.
What, have we haven't released it yet?
No, but I think
Holy
they've been with how like liberal Insomniac is talking about. Yeah, we're about to just play the whole game.
So
But
They
they're
do QA for months.
They
and
do
months,
QA
especially
for a
with
long time.
game like that tentpole kind of title. They want to make sure
It's going to come out July or later.
I was gonna say, is this a summer game or is this a
Feels
holiday
like
game?
a summer game. Sony doesn't release their first party in the holiday because they leave that for Call of Duty and
Yeah, all
EA
those
games.
third parties.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. I know we've talked about Spider-Man 2 for the PS2 and GameCube and whatever. They got an Xbox release, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have a OXM demo disc that has Spider-Man.
Oh God. Fucking throwback, dude. Yeah, I hope, and I've said this before in the podcast, but there's a blueprint for how to make a Spider-Man game. And even though Spider-Man 2 is obviously dated, it shows its age when you go back and play
I love
it.
how cloudy that city is.
Yeah.
Well, come
Talk about
on.
draw distance.
Technological
I can almost see a
limitations.
block away.
Come on. But
I'm walking here.
I'm walking here. It's the spider guy. No, there's a blueprint for how to do it. So just do that with a little modern flair.
Yeah.
But I'm worried because the biggest thing about that game was the sense of discovery of just exploring a city. You could go anywhere in the entire city and then you just run into like, oh, someone's being mugged here, or there's a car chase here, or someone's shooting. It's like, and you felt like Spider-Man who just is going around cleaning up the ragtag fucking local ATM robber and the way you maneuver through the world is something a Spider-Man game has not done.
Yeah, you really
you
need that mobility. That's what makes a Spider-Man game.
I'd say Ultimate Spider-Man did a pretty decent job of covering the mobility, and then all those like level by level beat 'em ups were just terrible.
The one I hear people talk about as being like the last okay Spider-Man was Web of Shadows.
I think
Web of Shadows was
PS3, I think.
Yeah, it was definitely a PS3 game. I'm trying to remember if it was
release.
The one.
Oh yeah, it was a handheld. Oh.
Yeah. They got both.
That's just the. That's
I'm trying to remember if that's one where you played as like the 2099 Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man.
No, that was
Shattered Dimensions.
Shattered Dimensions. Really cool game. Combat was simple as fuck.
And you had the Noir.
Noir, most badass Spider-Man that we've never seen anything more of.
The comic for that's pretty good, but most of those Noir comics are trash.
Are they?
Yeah. Spider-Man looks really cool. I'm glad they got Dan Slott. Like
the Web Shadows.
Oh yeah, I never played that one.
Yeah, they got a PS3 and a PSP release.
It was definitely on hand.
Among other things.
No, I'm glad they have Dan Slott as like an aid to writing their story.
Right.
Mr. Negative is Dan Slott's character, so you know he's getting paid for this game. But I think it's going to go really well, quick time events or not. I'm sure that's just going to be like a main mission kind of thing versus cleaning up the streets.
I hope. I don't know. We'll see how they balance it.
As long as you feel like Spider-Man, that
big Uncharted
you can't really go.
Moments.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it when it's peppered in occasionally. It's essentially because it's just a cutscene that they want you to be more aware of. They don't want you to like whip out your phone in the middle of a cutscene. So I get it. I would rather just watch a cutscene as like being a movie fan. Like I just want to sit back
as opposed to
and relax,
looking in the corners to see if I see a flashing X button.
Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? But I get why they do it because they're just trying to keep you engaged. Whatever. If it's minimal, like you said, the Uncharted moments, but like Uncharted took took those to the fucking extreme. Like it's like I have to open a gate, and you're sitting there just fucking masturbating on the X button. Like, what? Just open the fucking gate.
You don't press it
back
fast enough, and Nate gives up. It's just lets go of the wheel.
It's fucking retarded. It's awful.
I loved Uncharted 4, but going back and playing 1 through 3 is really hard now.
They're not very good games.
I'd say, well, at the time, they were top tier.
Sure, I understand.
I would recommend just, if you never played those first 3 Uncharted games, just watch them on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just do that. Or read the Wikipedia description.
I wish I had watched them.
A really good tech demo.
Yeah.
Because they had some cool stuff. The second one had some cool stuff. That opening sequence with the train
at the beginning.
That was really fun. But it's mediocre cover shooting. It's kind of goofy characters. It's a bunch of crappy fantasy sci-fi tropes thrown into a fucking Indiana Jones movie. And it's just like...
Wait, what's sci-fi?
I mean, it was the only thing that was doing what it was doing before Lara Croft got rebooted,
That's true. Dude, sci-fi, them fucking genetically altering fucking Yetis on their secret Soviet base. I guess what is that? It's not sci-fi.
That was Tibetan magic.
That was the second one. The first one was
that's pretty Indiana Jones, right? I mean, did you see the fucking Temple of Doom or
fair enough.
Last Crusade?
Fair enough.
Yeah,
like ghosts
and 4 doesn't have aliens in it, so that's a nice win for Uncharted.
Yeah, he's got nuke-proof fridges.
Yeah. Be one of those soon.
You're right though about the Lara Croft games. Tomb Raider does everything that Uncharted wish it could do.
I mean that could be another thing that gets released this year, even maybe.
Shadows of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Shadows of the Tomb Raider. That was like leaked like 2 years ago, where someone was on the
train,
on like a train or like a subway.
It was leaked before Rise of the Tomb Raider even came out.
On PS4. It was after Rise came out on Xbox One.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that.
Because that was a 2015 game.
Yeah, at the end of the credits on PS4, it still says the Microsoft logo, which
because they like paid for a bunch of it.
They put a lot of money into it.
We talked about this maybe briefly, I think, with Brennan. Brennan and I both played the first one, and I liked it for what it was. The story, it was super intense, and it kind of did the same tropey, like, it's Indiana Jones, oh, and there's something supernatural. What could it be? And like,
it seemed like it had better like systems than an Uncharted game.
Much better. And it's more exploration heavy.
Took like a lot of inspiration from that because the Tomb Raider games that were like later in its life were pretty shitty. Tomb Raider was never really good, but it was like a new thing.
Like
a
PS2 to 360, up to the Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, like Black Shirt Tomb Raider. You think about that, you're like, oh god, like the Angelina Jolie years. You're like, oh no.
No, not very.
I just rewatched both of those movies recently.
That's rough.
Wouldn't recommend it.
You could have done so many other things. You could have started learning a new language.
She's so disconnected from being like a person in those movies.
Angelina Jolie.
Probably because she's rich as fuck. And she just shoots robots.
It's like, I want to adopt more kids, but I gotta make this dumb movie.
Yeah. She's just shooting a robot in her own house with like a gun.
Was this Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
No, this is the first Tomb Raider.
Oh, shit.
I thought that was the second one that had the robot in the house.
I think it's in both of them.
I have no fucking clue.
It was like an acid flashback almost.
Did you guys see the trailer for the new Alicia Vikander Tomb Raider?
It looks like the Crystal Dynamics game. It'll probably be all right. I like her. She was good in Ex Machina.
She was fucking great in Ex Machina.
But it's probably,
same character, right?
Emotionless fucking
she killed
robot
Oscar
of a woman.
Isaac at some point.
Yeah, no, it looked generic as fuck to
Looks
me.
like
but
a video game movie.
We'll see what happens. Fingers crossed for something. I don't know why it's so hard to make a good video game movie. Why is it so fucking hard?
Because us as a player have like internal expectations. We're like, we're gonna get to do this and this, and it's like, no,
I don't think
that's just watching a movie. Sit down.
I don't think that's what keeps these movies from being good. Because there's like Assassin's Creed. There's so much good source material. They could have made an awesome movie out of that.
Sucks.
It was fucking awful. How could you
It's almost like Ridley Scott was involved.
And they bastardized the source material, so it wasn't even like, well, it's just hard to translate the source material.
Actually, the future character in Assassin's Creed Origins in the I got really bored one day and I was reading all the real life documents. Mm-hmm. The main character in that, she created the animus that Michael Fassbender uses in the movie.
It's all tied together.
It links to the movie.
Oh, the cool like sex machine?
Yeah, the like Matrix, but in your L3.
Nice.
I was like, ooh, okay. I mean, I guess it is canon. Damn.
So we're running out of time here, and we have a lot of Nintendo stuff to talk about as a couple of Switch boys.
Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, so I was talking about the RPG.
I want to give a quick shout out real quick. Secret of Mana, something I'm looking forward to playing. It kind of looks like shit. It really does.
Did you hear the voice acting?
No, but whatever.
Oh boy.
It's a remake of a game that came out 25 years ago. 30.
Okay.
Yeah, right? 25?
The thing I'm excited for the most from that game is the soundtrack. That soundtrack's really fucking good. That composer, he still does work too. He did the soundtrack for Xenoblade.
I hope that there's online multiplayer. That'd be really nice to be able to play that game with friends online. And the other thing, because the original game is awesome, and the fact that's multiplayer even better. But like it was so like its systems were so obtuse. Like to cast magic, you had to pause your game, go into a start menu, and then go dig through a window of menus to every time you want to do a magic attack. It was like
I'm sure it'll be hotkeyed.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So it really like ruined what would otherwise have been a good experience for me. Playing the Super Nintendo version.
Yeah, I've been playing that the last few weeks. And
yeah, did you get the SNES Classic?
Got it day one.
My man.
With controller extensions.
Got him.
I guess it's so far away.
Dude, I got those 8-bit DOE controllers.
Yeah, the wireless feels nice.
I love chords.
Analog all the way, baby.
I know you're a big proponent for chords.
Yeah. I don't have any wireless charge in anything.
Red Dead 2. Finally got a release date.
I'm hyped.
Yeah.
RIP to any other game in October.
Pushed out to October. I don't know about that. I mean, you're still gonna get like Call of Duty. That's gonna
do 2 weeks later.
Yeah, that's early November. But
apparently it's gonna be Black Ops 4.
Yeah, that's what I heard recently too. Battlefront, maybe Hardline.
Battlefront Hardline.
Battlefield, excuse me.
Oh, Battlefield 1 Hardline, where it's like in.
Well, there's supposed to be like another Hardline. It's supposed to be like what EA's shooter for this year is, DICE's shooter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's supposed to be either a Hardline or. What was the other Battlefield? Bad Company?
If Bad Company came back, I could see myself getting into it.
It'd be interesting.
I didn't really like Hardline or 1.
Mm-hmm. 1 was cool. Like, they did a lot of things right about that game, and the story was awesome, and the way they did these little vignettes with following different characters in different parts of the world.
I wanted more in that story. Like, I wanted like 3 or 4 more vignettes.
The fact that it was World War I.
They weren't anywhere in the game.
Yeah.
But they're on the cover.
That's fucking weak.
Yeah.
Was that, you think maybe there's going to be some DLC there that never happened?
Well, I think they had the DLC plans kind of
botched.
Well, I mean, they had it like figured out from beforehand. I think that was even before. They're like, oh yeah, how come you guys don't have like the French campaign? Like, oh, it's because it's DLC.
Oh, okay.
No, and I played it at launch, so I didn't get any of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, yeah, Red Dead. I'm curious to see what they do with that formula and those characters in a modern game. You know, I played Red Dead 5 years after release, and I just thought it was really fucking fine. Like it was linear, and
going back and playing it now is hard.
It wasn't that great.
The way that game is built is, it's like you're looking at a rope that's just tethering apart all the way down it.
Sure.
And it's like, it's all in a knot and just lying. It's a big mess.
Big fat mess.
But when it works, you're like, I'm a fucking cowboy.
No, yeah, there are cool moments for sure, but like playing that game after, like I've said before, playing it after Assassin's Creed 4 and playing it after Skyrim and playing it after GTA 5, it was just like, this is not a good game.
Yeah.
It's cutscenes, a cover shooter section. I have to round up some fucking horses. This sucks.
I love the story of Red Dead.
No, the characters are cool.
Revolver was okay too, but that's Capcom.
Yeah, totally different. John Marston was fucking cool. Like, he was an awesome character.
Well, apparently being this one, it's all about Dutch's gang.
So this is going back to the heyday of...
Yeah, it's like 30 years earlier.
I'm glad they aren't following Jack. I'm glad they're going back.
Well, I mean, they couldn't really do it because the first one was like the end of Cowboys.
Yeah,
and,
Red Dead Redemption
the
is
rise
the
of the
end.
industrial age.
Right.
Because then you get in the car in like the final 6 hours of the game. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You hiding these from me?
Yeah. Right.
I thought we only had carriages.
Yeah.
There's a saloon and I'm in a car.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see that world again because the world's interesting. It's fascinating to go back to the turn of the...
GTA 5 actually has a lot of the map assets that Red Dead has. There was a huge, I was reading this thread on Reddit for a while where they're like, Los Santos is part of Red Dead. And I was like, okay, well, maybe.
That's cool.
90 years later, this is where the GTAs are.
If you're in the top half of the map, yeah, it all looks like Red Dead.
Right, it's still a fucking forest, and there's a stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, is that the stream? That's a stream, right? The stream.
It is.
We make a fire and have some beans.
Yeah.
Yo, you want a game of Liar's Dice right there.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Red Dead will be cool. I'm really excited for the online in that because when Red Dead Redemption came out, that was the prequel to GTA Online.
Oh, no, did you see that leak?
Yes, I did.
Did you read that?
I was listening to someone talk about it on the way over here.
It was from a site called Trusted Reviews.
Yeah.
Was it? Where they were actually showing here's what they showed in the most recent batch of screenshots, and this is what we got back in August of last year. So corroborated. We didn't have we didn't know how true this was, but it seems like everything's corroborated. And they're just talking about there's going to be a companion app that you can play poker with on your phone.
GTA had an app too.
Did they? Okay, I was like,
at least I think they did.
What is Rockstar doing? Still having apps and shit. But I mean, it was just sort of detailing some of the. They didn't go into story beats or anything like that. Just mostly just mechanics and some side content, what they're trying to do with the online. Sure. And they had a couple named things what was it? It wasn't Cops and Robbers, but it was something like that. And it was a money roundup, kind of just things you would imagine doing as a cowboy who's an outlaw.
And then just a general overworld lobby like they had in GTA 5.
And then that's something called Battle Royale. So everyone's I wonder what they're doing there.
Oh, okay.
100 cowboys are dropped on an island.
A big bird drops you.
Oh, boy.
Use your hat as a parachute to land. No, I'm very excited for Red Dead. I love Westerns. I love Rockstar games. They don't need to make a game every year. They haven't needed to.
No, every 6 years works for them just fine.
Two a decade.
GTA 5 made $1 billion in a day.
That's insane. They've done really good.
And they've done that every day for the past 6 years.
Pretty much, yeah.
So Far Cry 5 is the last one that I am looking forward to
playing.
playing.
Comes out in March.
Killing some fucking religious extremists. Yeah. I'm all about it.
I love Far Cry. It's it's goofy enough. You can. It's the collectathon from Ubisoft that I really like.
Sure. But they nailed that combat down to a fucking T. It just works.
Science. Even Primal had great combat.
Yeah, it's
the Caveman one.
And the Primal, I think, would have done a lot better, but the fact that the story was so weak because you're a fucking caveman.
Yeah.
And coming off of...
I don't even know what the story was of Primal. I listened to podcasts the whole time.
Primal was a DLC thing, wasn't it?
No, full game. Full game. It was
It was a full game. It was
the Lost Legacy of Far Cry.
Yeah.
It took me 28 hours to platinum it.
To capture all the radio towers? I mean...
No, you had to find cave paintings.
Yeah.
Which cave paintings are super cool, but I don't know what the story was because it was a bunch of ooga booga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a Monster Hunter reference that you didn't get, but you laughed at.
You said you were just making some fucking noises.
The DLC for Far Cry looks awesome. It's it's probably going to be a bunch of different B movies that the white supremacists are watching, and then it'll take place. And so that's
I wonder
because it's Nazi zombies, space stuff, and some other thing.
Yeah.
I wonder how Blood Dragon it'll be, because the more Blood Dragon it is, the better it'll be.
Yeah.
Blood Dragon was the best thing to come out of Far Cry 3.
That's the approach I think they need to take with the DLC.
Also, they're doing a what was the thing I heard about Far Cry 3 getting like an HD thing?
It is. There's like a $100 version of Far Cry 5 that you can pre-order, and you get either it's like how South Park was. If you pre-order it digitally, you would get that right away, and then it'll be available. Far Cry 3 will be available to purchase on its own. I think like 2 weeks after Far Cry 5 comes out. So you get to play with Voss again.
Is it updated or is it just a port?
Probably upskinned a little bit.
Okay.
Not too much, I'd imagine.
I mean, the game, like on PC, that game was just gorgeous. So imagine if
all
the
Far Cries, I feel like, have been on PC at least ahead of their time visually.
Well, they
ran like
they inherited
shit,
those games from Crytek, didn't they? So
yeah. Oh God,
after 2, they got it from Crytek after 2. I want to say.
I think 2 was the first Ubisoft published. I don't know if they actually developed it. They might have just bought
2
the
was
series
a mess.
A big fat mess.
I would never play 2 again.
I haven't played any of the Far Cry series.
There's no autosave in 2. And the save stations were like an 8 to 9 minute drive apart on the map.
That's good. No fast travel either, I bet.
Nope.
Something interesting about the fast travel in this game that I've heard about is that when you fast travel, you can choose to either be on the ground or to parachute in to that point, which seems really like fun and interesting.
I love that just like this series that's been, wildly exotic and tropical.
Finally, it's back to America.
Yeah, we're taking it. We're making America great again. We're throwing them in Montana. Don't at me on Twitter.
Isn't the whole game killing the MAGA people?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what,
MAGA, baby.
I mean, I don't understand why people make that connection.
They're not MAGA. They're just like a super...
Really? You don't understand why?
No, I don't get it at all.
It may be a super hyperbolic...
This game was in development long before them.
But I think it's...
like a Canadian... Like a French-owned Canadian studio or something.
Yeah.
I'm all about it, man. As someone who grew up in a very religious household...
You got some feelings?
I got some feelings about religious extremists.
I get like a Waco kind of vibe.
Yeah, very Waco.
But I don't imagine, like, I don't get like the whole political stint. I just don't get a religion equals politics thing from it.
Also, Montana's just a beautiful state if we can get off the topic of the people.
Dude, yeah. You have a dog who can be your friend, and the dog will take people's guns from them and give them to you, and then you'll have their gun, then you can shoot the man.
That's every man's fucking wet dream right there.
I need a dedicated dog pet button, which is the one thing that would have made Zelda a 10 in my eyes.
Oh, God, yeah, but it didn't fit in. They would have to retool
We can't do cooking right, and you can't pet the dog.
Yeah.
8.
The one thing. Okay, don't get me started on the Zelda thing, guys.
Speaking of 2018,
fucking Zelda. The only Zelda game I'm excited for is Hyrule Warriors, baby.
I'm excited for Four Swords Adventures when Virtual Console launches on Switch.
Oh, so if we're starting with the pipe dreams, I got a list of pipe dreams here. Virtual Consoles.
Do you think...
Quick
aside before we jump into this, I know we're running out of time, but so Nintendo's online service, when that launches, do you think they're going to follow suit with like Sony and Microsoft and like have a big game behind it? Or do you think it's just going to be like, here it is?
They should, but knowing Nintendo, it's going to be here it is. We will all be disappointed by a piece of shit infrastructure that doesn't fucking work. It's going to cost us money for something we've been getting for free since Nintendo began online.
I mean, the only thing I'm not entirely certain that they're going to gatekeep actually playing online behind the paid online service.
I mean, that would be really cool of them.
I think the perks will be attached to it.
Because I don't think they have enough online games to necessitate that. They want as many people to pay for it as they can, which is why they're pricing it at $20 a month. So it has to be something else, I think.
Yeah. I think that's even more reason for them to gatekeep the playing online behind the paid service. Yeah. We don't have that many games that warrant it, so... We gotta really fucking
which is totally
bleed this dry.
That's totally valid. I think that is a possibility.
I mostly play indies on my Switch, so it doesn't really matter. It's a great indie
machine.
Sure.
I've been playing Celeste since it came out. I've just bought Night in the Woods today. I'm finally gonna get into that one.
Just tell me how you like that.
I'm interested in it. It seems like it's right up my alley as
really good things about
just college dropout.
Yeah, how good like the writing is and how the characters develop, and I'm really into it. Story game, whatever. Story is okay, but like I like good characters.
Yeah, and it seems like that's what it's all about. I'm excited to get. I'm glad it finally came to Switch because I've been eyeballing it on PSN for about a year and just going. It's not on Vita.
The only thing keeping me from it is like I know in like a month they'll be like we're gonna publish it. We're gonna make a physical version. I'm like, oh fuck, I already bought it.
Yeah.
And they just announced fucking SteamWorld Dig 2 is getting a physical version. I'm like, no, I might just buy it again because I fucking like that game a lot.
SteamWorld Dig 2 is awesome.
It's fun as hell.
The first one's really good, but 2 is just
There's some great indie games coming out this year on Switch. Flint Hook is getting released on it.
And Owlboy.
Owlboy, that comes out like next week, yeah. Fucking Hollow Knight is this year. Dead Cells got announced for this year. I'm really pumped for a lot of the cool indie games this coming out.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, they could launch it with a game, but it wouldn't really matter to me.
They need to launch it with a game, and
I don't know if it's going to be as mind-bogglingly important as something like Smash Bros, a new Smash Bros, or a re-release. Doesn't fucking matter. Mario Kart 8 sold like 7 goddamn million copies.
Yeah.
When it was a re-release. So a re-release of Smash would probably do equal numbers to Wii U, if not more.
And I'd say if we don't hear about a Smash re-release, Smash 4 re-release,
it's going to be Smash 5.
Yeah, we're not getting a Smash 4 re-release. We're getting Smash 5 sometime later.
Here's the thing.
They want Switch to run for 5 years.
6, yeah, which is...
And beyond.
Talk about pipe dream.
I mean, so 3DS has done that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Nintendo could do it with the Switch if the Switch turns, or if they really embrace the handheld nature of it and it becomes their handheld. But to say this is like a main home console, which part of the reason we've seen a Switch success is not because of a bunch of re-releases and Mario.
No, it's because I can take it to work.
It's because of the portability, but it's because we're getting these third-party ports to it. It's all of it together. But as soon as the PS5 and the Xbox Zero comes out,
disparity there.
There's no way they can possibly. We will not be getting third-party games anymore.
And
support's dead.
They're going to lean more and more into it being focused more as a portable. They have already done that with. I can't remember when they said it, but they said that they think of Switch as a multi-console per household kind of device.
Yeah,
which is what portables are. You know, you sell to all 3 kids that you have, right?
Right.
So they've already sort of leaned. They're going to start leaning towards that, and they do refreshes on all their goddamn handhelds.
Yeah,
it's inevitable. I mean, people saying like, "Oh, are we going to see hardware revision this year?" I don't think so because it's already
next year.
It's already selling like really well. They're going to wait until it starts dipping, and then they're going to try and bump it up by having a new shiny version of it.
Sure, but will it be powerful enough to like keep up with third-party ports? Or is it going to be?
It's going to be as much of a change as like the new 3DS versus the original 3DS.
And that did allow for some cool things.
Hey, Smash on 3DS loaded really fast on the 3DS.
It's going to have faster loading. It's going to have a more steady frame rate, that kind of stuff. But it's not going to be. It's going to be like a PS4 Pro. You know, it's not going to be a hard limiter.
Well, the PS4 Pro is significantly more powerful than the PS4. It's just that developers aren't utilizing it.
Yeah,
it's only the first parties that are really going ham on it.
Sure, but if
Sony doesn't want exclusive Pro version games because they have fucking 60 million.
Yeah, no,
PS4s
I get why, but I'm saying if Nintendo can give us a PS4 Pro type leap in their next iteration, like that would enable third-party developers to keep releasing their shit on that platform.
That's very true.
So sure, by all means, if that's your plan is to just double the power and still sell it as the Nintendo Switch or the new Nintendo Switch or the fucking shitty naming convention they use, I'm fine with that.
It all just depends on the price of the tech. I mean, sure, you could probably make a tablet that can run Far Cry 5, but will it cost enough? Like, will it cost enough that Nintendo can sell it to the people who would buy it, right? Because if you want a Nintendo console, you're probably not like, oh man, I can't wait to play Far Cry 5 on this thing. You might play like a remake of Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
I just think it's a weird, tumultuous kind of push and pull with third parties and like the AAA experience. And I think Nintendo would rather have just a specifically made for Nintendo game, maybe a version of those games. Like the next Assassin's Creed game probably won't be on Switch, but Ubisoft might make an Assassin's Creed game for Switch specifically for that console because it's just not about the power.
And it's not like people are going to stop making indie games in the next few
indies
years.
Are only getting bigger. People are buying a lot of these indie games.
Yeah.
But indie games are not moving units. They're just placating people who already bought the thing for Zelda and Mario.
It sure helps the attach rate of Switch.
I mean,
I've got like 17 games.
But so here's the thing.
More than that.
Nintendo blew their load with their 2 biggest franchises this year. And they're kind of, 3 really if you consider Mario Kart. That was...
And Splatoon.
This fiscal year.
Splatoon is doing really well too.
It is.
Splatoon sold like 4.5.
Almost 5. 4.9.
Is it 4.9? And then the other games sold, I think Zelda did 7, Mario did 9.
6 something.
Mario sold more than Battlefront 2. That epic failure.
That's not a surprise whatsoever.
Yeah,
Battlefront 2 still sold 9 million, but...
across multiple systems, like how many?
3 systems.
So like 100
million PS4s and Xbox Ones combined,
and then plus PC. Like that sold so fucking terribly.
Oh yeah,
that's awful.
The game sucked.
They wanted it to sell more than the first one. The first one sold 14,
and that's not even that great.
I mean, that's pretty great, but like
considering
how much it costs,
the Force
much
Awakens
IP
hype,
cost,
well, that too. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they
need to recoup their funds.
they're not doing that.
And shuttering a fucking entire studio that was making.
I'd be
a
curious
game.
to see the Respawn Star Wars game, but that's
Cool.
just, I like Titanfall.
It might be cool. EA might ruin that studio like they ruin every other studio.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, EA's
R.I.P. Vista.
garbage.
Don't worry, Microsoft's gonna buy them.
Whatever.
That'd be so crazy.
So here's the thing about the Switch and Nintendo is they've released their heavy hitters already. We are years out from another Zelda. We're years out from another Mario. They need something big. They've not announced anything big for this year that's anything near on the level of... I mean, historically, Zelda doesn't sell that well.
Yeah, they haven't shown a lot, but at the same time, they have a lot in their stable that they've kind of like hinted at for like years and years. Like there was like 4 years ago, Miyamoto just like offhandedly said, "Oh yeah, we've got the next Pikmin game. It's pretty much almost done," and then just like moved on and started talking about something else. And like Pikmin isn't like a huge seller, but it's like it's a big
people like it.
Nintendo IP.
People thought that was a 3DS game.
It's been a long. I mean, that's completely different though. They didn't. That wasn't first party really. I mean, that was like their a tiny studio within.
Yeah,
it wasn't like Miyamoto fucking working on it.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing, there hasn't been one since New Leaf. Not a real one. I won't talk to you if you're talking about the Wii U one.
No, 100%. But are we going to get these this year?
Fire Emblem was supposed to be this year also.
Yeah,
Fire Emblem was a big game. It sold really well on 3DS.
It's a Xenoblade Chronicles game. It's not moving units. Xenoblade Chronicles sold really well, but the sales are probably going to completely plateau after what we saw in the holiday season. It's not selling much more than it has. Fire Emblem's the same way. It'll sell 1.2 million units, and that'll be it.
Yeah, but that for the Nintendo fan...
Yeah, like that's big for me because I love Fire Emblem. Like I'll definitely pick that up this year. It's on my list of things I'm looking forward to.
I just think it's different when it's a handheld. I think handhelds kind of sell themselves, whereas a PS4 or Xbox One, you kind of get that initial edge, and then it's just whatever your friends have because you're all playing the multiplayer game. Nintendo doesn't have that like luxury. They can't lean on third parties like the main console manufacturers can.
Yeah.
But they also have their stable of IPs. They're the only ones that can actually sell a console based on an IP they own. You're not buying fucking a PS4 for Uncharted 4. I'm sorry. There was the bundle. They sold a lot of those bundles, but that's because you came with a free fucking game for $300.
That's why you got the bundle. You want to get all the other games. You want the Shuhei sales.
It'd be like the equivalent of being like, Wii Sports is one of the best selling games of all time because 80 million people wanted a Wii.
Right.
But then it came with a game because it was just like, I bought the thing that does the thing, and that's what I bought.
But if your argument completely falls apart when you look at the Wii U, because that had how many great fucking games. It has one of the best Mario games ever on it.
It was too expensive, and nobody knew what it was.
Yeah, that's...
And had terrible fucking commercials.
I didn't even really know what it was until I lived with you. I was like, oh, this is the Wii U. Okay, all right. But it costs a lot. I'm not buying it.
Right. The coolest 360 I ever bought.
But again, that's the same thing. $300 for essentially, I mean, it's a Nintendo first party machine. Like I don't understand.
Let's not forget the cardboard toys we're all going to get to play with us kids at heart.
It's not for me. I won't be able to buy a single Labo.
Not going to get a Labo.
It's not for me.
I want the piano. I think it would be really fun to use on like.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's interesting, but I'm not going to waste $80 to be like, this is a cool piece of cardboard tech.
There's some like
customizable strings in there
that I think might be interesting.
Anyway, my whole point about the whole Nintendo blowing their fucking load thing is that this year they have to have something big to keep the momentum going. It has to be probably Smash Bros. Or like Mario Maker was a huge success for them on the Wii U.
And it sold really fucking well on the 3DS. And that was a fucking kneecapped version of that game.
Yeah.
Too.
So if they can do...
Would they make a Nintendo stylus for the Switch? For Mario
they don't need that. Everything you do when you're making can easily be done with a fucking stick button.
And most people will probably use their fucking finger anyway on the Wii U, not the stylus. I'm all about a stylus though. That's cool. I'd be down.
I almost got a phone with a stylus. It's crazy.
I'm down.
Switch with the multi-touch. You can just stretch those blocks, make them real big.
Oh, that's so... I never even thought about that.
One big Goomba, right?
No. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, like they'll just, they'll give us hopefully a couple classics. I'm sure we'll see a little bit of Metroid at some point this year, but that's 2019 at least.
Yeah, I might see like a story trailer, but
So we know for sure that Kirby's coming out
in March,
and that looks adorable.
That's totally fine.
Looks like Kirby.
They keep track with Kirby. Clearly it makes more money than they spend on it, and it gives people like something to do.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have to spend money on it.
Yoshi?
We mentioned Fire. So Yoshi, I have a question about Yoshi.
They haven't talked about Yoshi too much. There's not even a real title for it. I think the main reason they showed Yoshi is because it was them saying, hey, we're developing an Unreal Engine and we're like getting with the times and we're showing support for this company and making good with Epic so we can finally get in the Chinese market.
Yeah.
So the thing about Yoshi, they moved away from the yarn aesthetic. Now it's a cardboard aesthetic.
Dude, it looks so cute. They've always gone with that with Yoshi. The first one was like, it looked like crayon drawings.
Yeah.
Yoshi's Story was a pop-up book.
Yeah.
That's always been Yoshi. I love it.
Cardboard now. Is there going to be a Labo tie-in?
I wonder. Probably not. I think Labo is going to be totally like its own thing.
I don't know.
I don't think it's got enough. I don't think it's big enough, or it's going to be big enough to be its own thing. I think they're going to have to tie in with their other franchises.
Korg is also adding some synthesizer software to the Switch.
Yeah, it's super weird.
I watched a demo or two of that. It looked. I would buy it. I would buy it just to get drunk and make some dumb songs with friends.
I think anybody who thinks that Labo is just a way to control other games, I think that's super ignorant and just stupid.
No.
I think it's papercraft that comes with software that you can play with the papercraft. I don't think Yoshi's going to be a game attached to it.
You won't be able to pull the motorbike out to play Yoshi.
Mario Kart or anything.
Yeah.
It's purely a rote system in and of itself.
Yeah, it's just to get children into engineering.
Nintendo wanted to make shitty Legos, but since they're a video game company, they had to justify its existence. Is that what you're saying?
It's cheap as hell for them to
Yeah, it's fucking cheap as hell. I get it. I understand why they're doing it. I don't even hate it. I think it's whatever. But there are 8 million things the Switch needs, and this was not it. It's not for me.
It's not what it needs, but it's what Nintendo wants to do, and fucking whatever. Let them
whatever. But the Wii U is what they wanted to do, and that was just a colossal failure for
but look where we are now. Still wanting more.
Wii U was a necessary fucking stone that they had to step on and sacrifice to make what everyone truly wanted, which was a real handheld.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's funny that, for me, it seems so silly that it took this long for people to realize that we just wanted a fucking handheld that we could play on the TV. Like, when I was 8 years old, we were talking about that.
Vita almost did it.
That's why I bought the Vita TV for $20.
Right?
I don't even know where it is right now.
Same here. I lost mine in the move.
I thought you let Anna borrow it.
That's where it is.
Found it.
Probably right down the street from here.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
Yes. No, I mean, it's...
Also, Dark Souls in May. I'm hyped for a game on Switch every month up till June.
There's a lot of little things that I'm looking at.
E3.
Yeah, and then I'll be hyped for even more games.
Dude, hell yeah, I'm into it.
We have to be getting a game though with the online, right? Whether it's Smash Bros, Mario Maker, Animal Crossing.
It's one of those three, I think.
Could it be Pokemon?
No,
I don't. We've
talked about this.
There is a slight possibility, but I will go gray if a Pokemon game comes out. In the hair for you audio listeners. In 2018, if a Pokemon game is announced and given a release date for 2018.
And not in September. No way in hell in September. Pokemon's, they release in November
or April.
Or April, yeah, or first quarter.
There's not going to be a game that releases day and date with the online. They're going to have their virtual console that releases.
I don't think there is, but I think they have something in mind, or else they wouldn't give a month.
It'll be something that releases in November. November is the holiday window. They'll say online in 2018 with the virtual console, but wait, our big online game is coming in 2 months. That's what it'll be. It won't. And that's fine.
Is the online launching again?
September.
Just September. Knowing Nintendo, it'll be the end of September.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's
Probably
either one of those three, known to be, interactive online-ish experiences that they could, flesh out and, push the online and, if you buy the game, you get, your first month free, you get a week free,
it's
something
I'm buying
that.
a year anyway, so...
Just, give you that nibble. But, it could also potentially be a new IP thing, but I don't know if that's enticing enough to, get people to be invested in the online.
No.
But it would be a tie-in in that aspect, because we still don't know what Retro is doing, and they've been fucking working on something since Tropical Freeze, and that was 2014.
Metroid, right? Metroid is coming out this year. Oh shit!
There's gonna be 2 Metroids.
I just want Virtual Console so I can play Fusion on my Switch.
Virtual Console will be cool, but I still don't. I don't know for a fact that Virtual Console actually does the numbers that Nintendo wants.
I fucking wonder why. Because they release these old ass games that we've bought 14 times for $10 a fucking pop. Give us a real Virtual Console ecosystem. Do it the way PlayStation's doing it with their old titles. Give us crossplay.
I don't want what PlayStation does with their old titles.
No, you know how many times I've bought my PS1 classics? Because some of the PS1 classics that I bought on PS3 work on my PS4. But pretty much all of them I've had to repurchase.
I just don't understand how, A, it wouldn't... I can't imagine it being terribly expensive to do this, but B, if you just said the Switch is now the ultimate Virtual Console machine, you can play from Game Boy to NES all the way through fucking literally the Wii.
That's what I hope the subscription is for. But
Like,
I don't think that's going to be the case.
That's huge, though. How could that would do well?
If it just had a like even Comixology Unlimited with their subscription service, they rotate out the books that you can read each month.
I hate that.
I'm okay with it because I check out all kinds of series that I wasn't going to check out in the first place.
I think that's but it goes against what most like comic book readers like who have this.
Well, it's not
OCD collector's mentality.
It's not a lot of Marvel and DC either. It's a lot of the independent, not the independent. It's a lot of Image, Boom, Dynamite, the smaller guys.
I would be really unhappy if they did a rotating library like that. I mean, a growing library, sure. You pay however much was it, $20-some a year, and they just have this growing library of games. That's
too low of a price for them to justify it being a growing library. A rotating library, I would understand. That's being like an evolution of like the monthly rental kind of thing that they were talking about initially that everyone kind of revolted against.
Yeah, like Netflix takes stuff away every month.
But also you're paying Netflix $12 a month.
Yeah, it is true.
So instead of
I pay $14 now.
But like Nintendo's only charging essentially less than $2 a month for their online service. It can't be that fully featured. I mean,
so just give us a real virtual console then. Problem fucking solved. Just I don't care if it doesn't make them dick money. It cost them dick to fucking port these games and just have the servers up. There's no way they're not making money on it. There's no way. So just give it to us.
I mean, a company is not in the business to just make some money. They have to make a lot of money, and they have to message it and make it like an exciting thing. So that I just don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna. Obviously, I am a fucking Nintendo stan, and I'll defend them from this side of the earth to the other. But at the same, I don't fucking really care that much about Virtual Console. If they announce Virtual Console, I'll be like, oh, that's a cool thing. Cool, finally.
There are 100 games I'd rather play on Virtual Console than anything coming out this year. And I would pay for the right to do that. A lot of people fucking would.
But Nintendo doesn't want your money.
Like, you think nindies are keeping the platform alive? Just imagine 25 years of Nintendo was just available tomorrow. You know how much money I would drop? I'd drop $200 tomorrow. If they're just like, everything Nintendo's ever produced, here you go. Fucking Christ, man. And a lot of people would.
I really would just want like a WarioWare game for the Switch with that HD Rumble.
Give me a real Wario game?
Give me a real 1-2 Switch.
I just want new games.
Yeah. Well, you're getting plenty. I mean, you know.
They've mentioned a few. Mario Tennis looks real fucking cool.
Mario Tennis looks awesome.
Certainly not.
They're finally wearing tennis clothes.
Yeah. First story mode since the GBA one.
It gives me hope for a Mario Golf in the next year. Ooh.
Mario Golf RPG.
Mario Golf.
Mario Golf with your friends story.
Mario Golf all PG.
All PG.
Yes. That's a live game.
Yeah, dude, I'd
be
all
about it. It's like the
destiny
of Mario Golfs.
I'd be all about it.
But yeah, I mean, unless they make the next Fire Emblem, like have online shit.
Yeah, like throw the arena from the old GBA ones online.
Or like do a versus mode.
Yeah. A real versus mode. Something that we thought we were getting an Awakening and then it totally fell flat and absolutely fucking sucked. Give us a real versus mode. I would be into that.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Holy shit.
I mean, don't even fucking balance it. Make it as broken as fucking possible.
Let me have 6 Marcuses.
Yeah. 100%.
Go to hell. I'll buy Roy and DLC and then just fuck up my friends with him.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I did mention Hyrule Warriors earlier today.
You did.
Yeah, and you're a sad sack of shit.
I hate the Fire Emblem Warriors game.
I've never been to a movie.
I got that. I think my girlfriend's brother bought that for me for Christmas.
I have to pause it too much.
I didn't realize that what I really loved about the Zelda game was just that it's got the Zelda skin. So kind of like Zelda games. The only reason I like the Zelda games is because it's got a Zelda skin. Not because they're great games.
Hyrule.
But the Hyrule Warriors game was awesome. I was like, this is like a love letter to Nintendo fans.
By some other guys.
The music, the characters, the way they incorporated all of the story elements and to create a whole new narrative involving everybody. And then the strategy elements. Like, it was just the perfect confluence of things to make that an enjoyable game. Hyrule Warriors, or
you
Fire
do love
Warriors,
having like Netflix going on in the background, listening to some music, and just pressing B a bunch to hack and slash and kill a million bokoblins.
Yeah.
Half the time I'm playing games, this has a podcast going.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna buy it again just to get the Wind Waker characters and and this is the
new Breath of the Wild skin for Zelda.
Yeah. So I'm all about that. I'll buy that again for sure. Anything I'm missing? No, I think we touched it all.
I mean, I'm actually kind of stoked to buy Bayonetta 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I never bought that on Wii U.
Oh, really?
And I just heard so many good things about those games. And after playing Nier last year, and finally playing a Platinum game, I'm like, I want to play
now I get it.
a game that's more lauded by them.
If you don't like Warriors games, you will not like Bayonetta. They are more like half a step above a Warriors game.
No, it's like Devil May Cry.
It's just a combo-based hack and slash game that you don't have to do any of the combos.
Yeah,
there's like a difficulty gauge.
I don't know.
Yeah, there is.
If there's
on PS3 there was.
Because if you're playing on easy and you're just sort of like auto comboing through and just being like matching through, then sure, that's probably not going to be as engaging. But if you have to actually be like, oh, this context I will do this combo, in this context I won't, then I feel like that'd be more engaging.
Fair enough. Okay.
Maybe cool. That was my problem with Nier, was that the combat turned really fucking easy once I got an upgrade that let me heal myself after each death.
Yeah. So
it was just like I was just mashing my way through, and then the combat was a lot less engaging, but the story was great. So that was a lot of fun.
Fair enough.
So I just want to check out and see what the whole hype is about this Bayonetta lady. I played British witch that kills angels.
She's cool. She's better than Bullet Witch.
I played like 5 or 6 hours of Bayonetta 1 because I bought that combo pack on the Wii U, and I was like,
did you not touch 2 then? Or?
No, I didn't, because I literally thought
a lot of people said that they like 2 a lot more than 1. So.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot better.
I played 1 on 360, and it was definitely challenging because I played it on like one of the higher difficulties because I was like, I'm a DMC vet. I'm gonna beat this game.
I love Dante.
Yeah, I'm a big Nero fan.
Dude, some of the characters in that game are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Virgil.
No, Bayonetta is gonna be it's gonna be great to have it on Switch because Bayonetta 2, I'm sure not many people played.
Probably not.
Very, very few people.
Maybe like 500,000.
3 of 3 people in this room have not played.
That's true.
Bayonetta 2.
Wow, that's 100% of the people in this room.
Oh, fuck.
I might consider picking it up again, but I feel like I have to play the first one to play the second one.
Right.
And to me, I literally came like, this is the first game I played after beating Hyrule Warriors, was I was like, okay, time to jump into Bayonetta. And I was like, this is the same thing, but without the characters I like. So I'm going to stop this.
I get that. I get that comparison a little bit. How about Donkey Kong? Are you going to get Tropical Freeze again?
No, I did buy it on the Wii U, and I played it
What
for
about that new funky mode?
Yeah, that's
You can finally beat the game now.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I can surf my way through the game. Sold. $60.
Dude, he is one righteous dude.
I'm not a huge fan of the Donkey Kong games, even going back to the Super Nintendo. I like the ones on Super Nintendo. I have a lot of nostalgia for them. But even going back and playing them, I'm just like, not for me.
I like the original Donkey Kong Country games on Super Nintendo. I feel like they're some of the best platformers.
Yeah, that's the game I've sunk the most time into on my SNES Classic. Can't believe
Super Nintendo
I just
Classic.
diarrheaed out the mouth there.
Yeah, I fucking love DKC. Tropical Freeze, I didn't play enough of it for the way the mechanics feel for it to really bleed into me.
Yeah.
I was kind of like butting my head against it. I was having a lot of trouble because I was trying to play it as I played the original Donkey Kong Country games, and they were not.
They're different games.
They're different games made by different people. It's going for different things. So
I actually played more time on that. I played multiplayer than I did.
Yeah, the multiplayer worked all right.
It worked, but it was frustrating.
Of course, I mean,
it was very frustrating.
It doesn't zoom out, so like you can only be on the same screen. I think there's like maybe some bubbling, but like platformers are kind of tough to do multiplayer with.
Yeah,
it depends. That's why
it always hit me the wrong way.
You
when
really
I was a kid.
have to dedicate yourself to being cooperative. Yeah.
I remember playing DKC 2 with my cousin, multiplayer, and we're both like 5-6 years old. And we tried to kill each other.
Yeah,
they had like different versions where you would either like take turns on deaths or take turns. You were Diddy, you were Donkey. So like when Donkey died, then. Or you'd be mashing select to like switch out on them so you could take over.
We like fought each other pretty hard a lot over that game.
Sounds like Nick whenever he's playing a multiplayer game.
Just because that one time I was trolling you at Shovel Knight, you never let go.
I witnessed that. That was hilarious.
It wasn't funny, man. I'm just trying to have a fucking good old time.
Shovel Knight. That's also got a new like DLC coming out this year.
I pre-ordered the new amiibo.
The 4-pack?
3-pack. Shovel Knight's not in it.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's King Knight, Spectre Knight, and Plague Knight.
Right.
I had something I wanted to say about what we were talking about, but I lost it.
What, Donkey Kong?
Was it Donkey Kong
We were just talking about Donkey Kong.
We were. Donkey Kong.
Sorry.
What I wanted to say was, what I really hope we get is either a port of Super Mario 3D World, which is probably one of the best Mario games ever made, and is so underrated because hardly anyone fucking played that game.
It's the best 2D Mario game I've played in a long time.
I enjoyed that game.
It's not 2D.
But it's designed like a 2D.
But I love that it's like, it's the 3D Mario game. It introduces a whole new set of challenges that are similar to what you get in a 3D Mario game, but it's not exploration based. It's very linear. It's going from A to B like you would in a 2D Mario game. And we hadn't really seen that except for in that and 3D Land on the 3DS. Another game I'd be loved. I think we're either going to get a port of that or a new game in that franchise instead of another new Mario Bros, which are fine but just don't feel very good. I'd much rather have a 3D World sequel, or like I said, a port would be fun.
After Mario Maker, it's really hard to justify making a new like 2D Mario game.
Yeah, if you want to do that, make it just more content in Mario Maker.
And if they fucking do, please just don't do the new Mario Brothers style. I really am sick of it.
Yeah.
They've been doing it since the goddamn DS.
I want Paper Mario to come back.
Real Paper Mario. It's not going to happen.
I know
it's not going to happen.
If anything, it's going to be a port of Color Splash, and like Miyamoto's already basically said, don't make an RPG with this. We already have Mario and Luigi, and they keep kind of they get worse and worse each time they make those games. Which
Mario and Luigi hasn't been good since we were in fucking middle school.
I've heard good things about Bowser's.
I heard the recent one was pretty solid.
That was the recent one was Paper Jam.
Okay, no, not that one.
Oh,
I loved the ones on GBA.
Yeah, the one on GBA was really good, and the two on DS were received really well, but I never got around to playing.
Superstar Saga.
Yeah, Superstar
That's fucking great. I love the writing in Mario.
Played that alongside Golden Sun and some other game.
Nice.
FF Tactics.
Good talk.
I'm 100% at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tactics Advance. That's a classic.
Aria. I was thinking of Aria of Sorrow. The first one was Soma Cruz, the white-haired guy.
The prequel to Dawn of Sorrow.
Yeah.
D of S.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Dick of Suck.
I was like, advanced system, dual system, dual screen.
Got you.
Well, guys, this has been the fucking Concert Crusade podcast. That's a little bit of the fucking things we're looking forward to in 2018. It's going to be a good year. Either way, there's going to be some good stuff for us. Maybe not. We're coming off of 2017, which is like people regard it as the best year in video games ever.
2017 didn't have Mega Man 11.
Yeah, it's true.
Whatever. Who knows?
You did have
Okami HD. Wait, no, that's true too.
Oh shit!
No, I got it. I got it for Christmas.
God damn it. Okay.
Science.
I'm just going over my list to see if we missed anything.
I'm excited for Soul Calibur 6 whenever that comes out.
Oh yeah.
Is that going to come to the Switch?
Maybe.
The leaks.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that. Fighters. I feel like there might be a thing where it's like, hey, you know those things you actually weren't asking for? Well, you're getting them.
You're getting them. Well, that sounds.
I would play Fighters on Switch, but I have it on PS4.
Right.
So I wouldn't buy it unless it was like $20. Like how Xenoverse is constantly on sale.
Yeah.
On the eShop.
I'd pick it up. Although we'll see if how far I get into it, and if I
haven't beaten even the first chapter of the story in Fighters.
Like I don't know the word chapters.
I'm planning on.
I'm on like the third map. Is that a chapter? Are those chapters? I don't know.
I don't remember.
I derailed the hell out of this outro. I'm sorry.
I'm planning.
Thanks a lot, you fucking dickhead.
That's my role in the podcast.
This has been the Concert Crusade podcast, and we're leaving now. Bye.
Subscribe to PBTH.
Follow EJ at EJGO. Follow Nick at Presto Death. Follow Andrew at Chavez.
Everywhere you look.